All right, everyone. So we're going to start in just a moment. We are waiting on one more, so we'll give them just a minute. And we are going to be recording. So if you unmute or you end up on the screen for some reason, just FYI, you will appear in the recording. But for the most part, it's just going to be me and my voice. So don't worry about that. Hopefully you won't show up. But I just need to let you know that we are recording this, okay? And then if you have any questions, you can unmute or you can put it in the chat. So if you don't want to be heard on the recording, you can put it in the chat. I do want to say, though, that sometimes I don't see the chat. So it's supposed to make a noise, I think, and sometimes it does, and I think sometimes it doesn't, or I don't hear it. So just FYI. So you can unmute yourself if you have a question about something, but hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward. Hopefully you won't need to talk to me or ask me any questions. All right. As for props, I don't think you'll be needing anything special. Let me double check my sequence. All right. So can everybody hear me okay? I've got a new microphone this week and some new lights. So hopefully things look a little clearer. And yeah, hopefully the volume is good. All right. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So still waiting on one more, but we're not going to wait. So let's start with a little bit of chanting. That way, even if they come in a little late, they'll just have missed the chanting and they won't miss instruction for how to do the poses. All right, so everyone here has been in my class before, so we start with the pranava, which is just chanting Om. Okay, great, thanks, Uta. And so let's just start that same way as if we were here in person. Of course, if in your house you can't Om, that's perfectly fine. But I'll be Oming and you're welcome to join me. Namaste. All right, so I'm going to make my way to my mat. And let's start with a little bit of breathing. So coming into a nice comfortable seat. In yoga, this is usually called Sukhasana. Sukha can mean sweet or easy or comfortable. So this is the comfortable pose, easy pose, nice comfortable seat. Even though it's comfortable, it doesn't mean it's slouching, right? So it's not this. We're still sitting up tall, ears, shoulders, hips stacked, eyes closed. Tension drawn inward. And we begin just by noticing the breath. From this awareness, let's begin to deepen our breathing. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Now intentionally beginning to add the Ujjayi sound, that ocean sounding breath at the back of the throat. Using the breath to release tension, holding, anxiety. Never using the techniques to create more tension or more anxiety or more effort. Okay. Let's come forward with our next exhale into tabletop. And we will begin the very simple warm up of the cat cow. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head up. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round the back, crown of the head down. Just moving back and forth gently. And maybe moving the hips from side to side a few times as well. Good. Coming back to center, tucking those toes, lifting the hips into the downward dog. Taking a little bit of time just to work the toes, ankles, and the muscles in the legs. And then coming into the full expression of down dog. So hands about shoulder width, fingers spread as wide as they'll go. The four pads under the knuckles firmly planting into the ground. The chest actively drawing back toward the toes. Feet hip distance, heels actively reaching toward the ground, and taking a few breaths here. Walking our feet to the hands, we'll come into the ragdoll. You can grab the opposite elbow, dangling here for a moment. Nod the head, shake the head, sway the hips, dangle the torso. And again, just feel the different areas of the body that respond to this. Now with arms relaxed, we'll inhale and gradually roll on up to standing, stacking the ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Let's begin with the sun salutation A. With our feet joined together. As we inhale, we draw our arms up, joining palms and lifting the heart. As we exhale, we bring the hands to the heart center and bring the palms flat, bending the knees if necessary and letting the neck relax. On the inhale, we'll come to our fingertips and look forward as we lengthen the spine. As we exhale, let's step back to the top of a push-up. Aligning the ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels into one straight line. Placing the palms directly underneath the shoulders and the toes tucked under the heels. Let's drop our knees for the first push-up so we can focus on the arms and shoulders. I'd like you to actively press the ground away from you with your shoulders. When you're not doing it, it looks kind of like this. So we're actively engaging. We're going to keep that engagement, take a deep breath, and as we exhale, lower down about halfway. The elbows bend to about a right angle, and they hug the ribs. Take a breath here. The next exhale, we lower all the way onto the belly. Release the tops of the feet to the mat. Bring the big toes to touch, and gently press tops of the feet down. Then as we inhale, pressing into the hands, lifting the head, neck, and chest up. Let's leave the hip bones on the ground, shoulders away from the ears, and let the neck be a natural extension of the spine as we come into our first cobra. As we exhale, we'll lower back down, tucking the toes, pressing back to tabletop, and then to the downward facing dog. Let's again take a moment to breathe here. Then with our next inhale, we'll come to the toes and look between the hands. As we exhale, we step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. Then with the next inhale, coming all the way up to standing back bend, joining palms and lifting the heart. As we exhale, we release forward and down into our forward fold. Placing the palms flat. The next inhale will come to our half lift. And as we exhale, we step back again to the top of a push-up. You can do the whole class, dropping your knees if you prefer, or if you choose, keep the knees up, but let's keep the same action with the arms. Take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, lower down halfway. Then inhale, straightening the arms and the legs. Knees are off the ground for upward dog. And as we exhale, using tabletop or coming straight back into the downward facing dog. Let's learn one more variation. Inhale to the toes and fill the lungs there. To exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. With the inhalation coming all the way up to standing back bend. As you exhale, again coming forward and down, placing the palms flat. Inhale to half lift, or you could do crow pose if you prefer. And see if you can exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog. You can always do cobra. And then exhale to a push-up, tabletop, or straight back to downward facing dog. Good. Now, we will use one of those variations or a combination of them to do a few rapid fire rounds, what we call half breath transitions. And most of you have done this with me in the past. So the idea is not to go any faster, but simply to eliminate the pauses. Okay. So if you get winded or tired, just take a child pose at any time. You don't have to do all of them. We're just going to do 3. So it's really not that much. Okay. And try and follow along with the cues. All right. Let's inhale as we come to our toes and we'll fill the lungs there. As we exhale, we step, jump, or float to the front edge of our mat. There we inhale all the way up to the standing back bend. As we exhale, we come all the way forward and down, placing the palms flat on the ground. Inhale to half lift. You can do crow or you can even do handstand. And then exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. Inhaling to up dog, you can always do cobra. And then again, exhale, push-up, tabletop, or straight back to downward dog. Inhaling, coming to the toes and filling the lungs there. Exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way up and back, Anuvritasana, standing back bend. And then exhale, forward and down, Uttanasana. Inhale to the half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale right back to downward dog. Let's do one more. Inhale to the toes, fill the lungs there. And then exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale all the way up and back, standing back bend. And exhale forward and down, empty the lungs. Inhale to half lift, fill the lungs there. And then exhale to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog, filling the lungs completely. And then exhale to downward dog as you empty the lungs and take a couple of breaths. This is a good time to check our breathing. Make sure it's still deep, it's rhythmic, it's slow. All right. All right, so let's learn Sun Salutation B. I'm aware that most of you know the form already, but we'll go over it anyway. You can never really go over the basics too many times. Okay, so let's begin with a chair pose. We'll come to the toes and exhale, front edge of the mat. Then we'll inhale up to our chair. Okay, so we want to come down, feeling those legs working, bringing the arms up and back, opening the chest. We'll let our face relax here. So last week we held the chair a long time, so let's not do that this week. With our next exhale, we'll come forward and down, empty the lungs. Inhaling to a half lift, and we'll exhale right to the bottom of our push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then we'll exhale back to our downward facing dog. Okay, bringing the feet to touch. Let's inhale the right leg up and back, lift it high, and then let's bend the knee and open up the hip a little bit. Okay, so just moving the leg around a little, and if you like, you can actually flip your dog over. Okay, so that would look like that. Do that, lift those hips up, give yourself stretch. Not required though, so if this doesn't feel good, if you're scared of doing this, then just skip that step. From here, let's come back and do a full-on three-legged dog. So we lift the leg high, keep it straight, flex the foot, and try and lower the right hip so it's level with the left hip. Okay, toes, knee, and hip are pointing toward the ground. Let's take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, place the foot between the hands. We're going to drop that back heel to the ground. And with our inhalation, we'll come up into a warrior one. Okay, so the front foot and knee point straight ahead. The knee lunges directly over the heel. If I were to draw a line from the front heel to the back foot, it would intersect at the heel of the arch. The arms are straight up and back, framing the ears. Okay, and generally the gaze is up skyward. Okay. All right, from here, let's take a nice deep breath. We'll exhale to the bottom of our push-up. And we'll make our way back to down dog. All right, side two, let's bring those feet to touch. We'll inhale the left leg up and back. Bend that knee, open up the hip, and maybe we flip our dog over. Again, I like moving this arm a little bit. Let's give things a little stretch, lifting those hips, seeing what parts of the body I can stretch or activate in this position. And then from there, we'll bring that hand back down. Let's lift that leg nice and high. Square off those hips if we can. Three-legged dog. Taking a deep breath here, we'll place the foot between the hands, drop the back heel, and then inhale to a Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. Good, great time to check our breathing. Really surrendering into the intensity of the posture, if it is indeed intense. We want a balance between intensity that helps keep us present and a sense of ease, which helps us to relax. Too much of one or the other can make the practice ineffective. All right, let's take a deep breath and we'll exhale to the bottom of our push-up, and let's make our way back to the downward facing dog. All right. So again, we'll do a few half breath transitions. I've learned that it's not a good idea for me to do these with you because I do get winded, and since I have to talk, it really isn't the best thing for teaching. Doing in class is different than teaching in class. So I'll guide you through it verbally. Again, take a break if you need one at any time, maybe a child pose, something like that. Do your best, though, to do all 3 rounds. Let's inhale to our toes. And as we exhale, we'll step, jump, or float front edge of our mat. Then with the feet touching, let's go ahead and bend our knees. Inhale to our chair pose, Utkatasana. The next exhale, we'll come forward, empty the lungs completely. Inhaling to the half lift, and then we'll exhale to the bottom of our push-up. Let's inhale to upward facing dog, and we'll exhale, push-up, tabletop, or straight back to down dog. We're going to skip 3-legged dog, so let's just inhale that right foot forward as we come up into a warrior one. And then as we exhale, we release to Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhaling to the upward facing dog, and then we'll exhale back to downward dog. So the other side, inhale left leg forward, warrior one, as gracefully as you can. And then exhale to the bottom of the push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. So inhale to upward facing dog, and we'll exhale right back to down dog. Inhaling to the toes and filling the lungs there. Let's exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. Let's inhale to a chair pose, Utkatasana. And as we exhale, we release to forward fold. Inhale to the half lift, and then exhale, bottom of the push-up. Inhaling to the back bend, upward dog, and exhale back to downward dog. Let's inhale the right foot forward, warrior one, and then exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling to the upward facing dog, and exhaling back to the down dog. Let's inhale the left leg forward, coming up into the warrior one, and then we'll exhale to the bottom of the push-up. Inhale to the upward facing dog, and we'll exhale back to the downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling to the toes and filling the lungs there. Let's exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. Let's inhale to our chair pose one more time, and then we'll exhale and release into the forward fold. Inhaling to the half lift, and we'll exhale to the bottom of a push-up. Inhaling to the upward facing dog, and then exhaling right back to downward dog. Let's inhale the right leg forward, warrior one, fill the lungs there. That's a difficult transition. And then exhale to the bottom of the push-up. Inhaling to upward facing dog, and then exhale right back to down dog. Inhale the left leg forward, warrior one, and then exhale, low plank position. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale right back to downward dog. Good. Let's take a moment here to breathe, relax, and feel. If you need a sip of water, now is not a bad time to grab a sip of water. Okay. If you want to work on an inversion that maybe you're working on, a headstand or a handstand, forearm stand, maybe arms, you should be nice and warmed up at this point. And so now is not a bad time to attempt something like that. Later on, you might be too tired to do something like that very effectively. And then much earlier than that, you may not be warmed up enough. So this is not a bad space to play a little bit, okay? So if you need more rest, child pose, water. If you feel like you're just getting going, then try something challenging. So we'll spend just a few breaths doing that. I'm going to make my way back to the mat, back to my mat, that is. All right, and now we're going to begin warming up for our balance pose, sort of our challenge pose today. Okay, and so we'll do this by inhaling the right leg up. So return to your down dog if you're not there already. Inhale the right leg up, exhale, go ahead and lunge, and then inhale up to a crescent lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. So it's like warrior one, but your back heel is raised. Okay, so we're here in this position. Good. Now what I'd like you to do is go ahead and bring the left arm out in front of you and the right arm out back behind you. Okay, so this is called a warrior advanced position. I'm actually going to go ahead and switch legs, or actually I'll just switch sides. So I'll just face this direction. Okay, so the right leg is in front, the left leg is behind, and the left arm is in front and the right arm is behind. Okay, doesn't really matter which way you face because we're going to pivot either way. All right, so from here, we want to feel stretch right here in the front of the left hip. We're going to pivot and turn and bring energy to my heart. Expand that energy by coming into the same position on the other side. So on this side, left leg is in front, right arm is in front, right leg is behind me, and left arm is behind me, okay? Good, so let's do that a few more times. Just inhale back to the center position, and we exhale. And each time I want to feel this stretch here at the front of the hip, okay? Good, let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. Good, that's 2 times. So let's do like 3 more for a total of 5, okay? It's 3. 4. And 5. All right, good. From there, go ahead and bring yourself back into this position. So you're going to be facing that way. Inhaling arms up, and then exhale to the bottom of a push-up and make your way back to downward dog. Okay, so we're in downward dog, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we inhale, left leg up and back, exhale between the hands, and then we inhale up into a crescent lunge, right? And now I bring my right hand in front and left hand behind me. Okay, so I'm coming into this, again, warrior advanced position. And now the stretch is here at the front of my right hip. Good, so pivot, bringing energy to the heart, collecting it at the heart center. And then I exhale and expand and push. Good, then again, inhale and exhale. Good, so that's 1 time. Let's do a total of 5 again. It's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good, inhale those arms up and exhale, bottom of your push-up, making your way back to the downward dog. All right, so we did all that warming up, and the purpose of that is to help us get ready to do this next pose, which is a balance pose. So let's come to our toes, and we're going to exhale front edge of our mat. Inhale all the way up to standing, and let's just exhale. We'll relax our arms by our sides. Okay, so this is one that's probably familiar to most, it's Nata Rajasana, which is the king dancer pose. So we'll bring our feet to touch, and then we'll shift weight onto our left foot. Bending the right knee, we're going to reach back and we'll grab the right foot. And ideally, it's from the inside of the foot. So my thumb is facing back. Okay. I could hold the foot, I could hold the ankle, or I could even hold the shin. Just depends on what makes the most sense. My foot can point or it can flex. Again, it sort of depends on how that feels in your leg and in your knee there. All right, let's draw the knees closer, and we'll inhale this arm up, and you can join the index finger and thumb and bring the other three fingers together for Jnana Mudra. Okay, or no, sorry, this one is, yeah, Jnana Mudra. All right, from here, let's take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, just begin to kick that foot back. So notice I'm not hinging at all, just kicking back. Okay, so I'm just kicking back, no hinging. And you notice that I'm already going into a back bend. Okay, so I create the back bend first, and then I begin to hinge from the hips, and I try and get my pelvis or belly to face the ground. But meanwhile, my head and neck and chest are facing forward. And ideally, my leg is kicking up and back so that maybe my whole front of my right leg is facing the wall behind me. I don't think I'm actually doing that. Yeah, I'm definitely not. But you get the idea, that's our intention. Okay, let's go ahead and release that leg. Let's relax and breathe and feel. Maybe like me, you can feel your heart beating there in your chest. I feel waves of heat or energy, sort of like a flush feeling moving over me. So it's very interesting the way the postures affect us. Okay, let's do the other side. So we're going to shift weight over onto the right foot, bend the left knee. So reach back, grab that foot, draw the knees in, and we'll bring the other arm up like so. Okay, good. Let's take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, just begin by kicking back. Okay, so again, I'm not hinging yet. I'm just really coming to my full back bend. And then I see if I can begin to hinge. All right, hopefully you got a little more room than me. I'm kind of running into this door. Finding my edge and just really allowing myself to be present there. How do I do that? I just surrender to the experience completely. Just letting it wash over me. Good. Inhaling, coming up. And we will exhale and relax the arms and the leg. Let's close our eyes, breathe, relax, and feel. Beautiful. From there, let's go ahead and make our way down onto our mat. So inhale, arms up, touch palms, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the half lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Making your way back to the downward dog. All right, from downward dog, let's flow down onto our belly. And let's just take a moment in Makarasana. So we'll bring the right hand over the left hand and just rest the forehead on the back of the hands for a moment. Good time to check in on our breathing. So make sure we're using Dirga and Ujjayi. The inhales and exhales are even. All right. So let's look at doing a little deeper back bending work. We should be nice and warmed up after what we did. So let's look at a Ardha Dhanurasana, half bow pose. So we'll extend the arms out in front of us to begin, sort of like we're diving into a pool. Then we'll bend the right knee and reach back and grab that foot. This is almost exactly what we were doing standing, right? But now we're going to try and do it laying down. Again, I can flex or point this foot, and I could grab from the inside or the outside, just whatever makes more sense for you. Okay. All right, let's exhale here. And as we inhale, we're going to kick that leg and foot up and back, and let's lift the left leg and arm. Then exhale, slowly coming all the way down. Again, let's inhale, coming up, lifting up. And then exhale, slowly back down. Good, we're going to do 3 more of those. Two more times. And one more time, and let's hold. One. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, come on down. And let's bring the left hand over the right hand as we come into Makarasana. Good, switching sides. So let's begin in the same way. Arms extend out in front of us. And bend that left knee, reach back, and grab the foot, ankle, or shin. Again, inside or outside, whatever makes more sense for you. Let's exhale here. And as we inhale, kick back and lift up. Exhale, slowly down. That's 2. We're going to do 3 more. Two more times. And last one, let's hold. For 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, slowly down. And then right hand on top of the left hand. Good. Now, let's see if we can do both legs together. Bend those knees, we'll reach back and grab. Again, could be feet, shins, ankles. Feet can flex or point. All right, now if this hurts your knees, I should have mentioned it even before, earlier, you can just do it without holding the legs. You can just lift your body up like Shalabhasana or locust, okay? You tweak your knee doing these. All right, let's exhale here, and then inhale, kicking up and back. And then once you're up, you might try rocking on your abdomen a bit, which is said to be very good for the digestive organs. Good. Take a nice deep breath and exhale slowly down. Left hand on top of the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. And just relax. Feel the rebound, however it manifests in your body, okay? It might feel good, it might feel intense, it might feel waves of heat or energy, it might feel emotion, sensation. All right, beautiful. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and press back into a child pose. And then we'll come up and do a few hip releases in this position, which I call dog wagging its tail. So just sort of drop your hips side to side, release the back a little bit. All right, beautiful. From there, let's do just a little bit of core work. So we'll come on to our side. Let's work with our side plank today, side plank form. So we'll have the shoulder directly above the elbow. Okay, the hand is going to be palm down here, coming straight out from the elbow. And I want the shoulder engaged. So this is what relaxed looks like, and this is what engaged looks like. Now I want to be sure to line everything up in a nice straight line. Okay, the heels, the knees, the hips, the shoulders all stack. Let's start with our hand on the hip here. And as we inhale, we'll lift up into our side plank. Okay, and from there, let's just extend our arm up and look up. And again, let's hold for a 5 count. Okay, so breathing for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale slowly down. Good. Roll onto your belly. Rest there for a moment. And then we'll make our way to the other side. I'm going to turn just so I can stay facing you, but you can just roll onto your other side. So again, a few key points. Let's make sure we have the shoulder stacked above the elbow. Okay. Shoulder stacked, hip stacked, knees stacked, and heels. And then everything is in a straight line. Okay. All right, hand on that hip. Let's inhale, lifting up. Shoulder is engaged, right? This shoulder here. We'll reach this arm up. Let's look up, and we'll hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's take a nice deep breath. Exhale, come on down again, rolling onto the belly. One hand over the other. Just relax and breathe. All right, beautiful. Let's get into the shoulder a little bit. Bring our right arm straight out to the right, palm down. And let's bend that arm to a right angle like this, okay? Make sure the elbow doesn't come down. So with that elbow straight out from the shoulder, right angle at the elbow, and then I begin to roll toward that arm. If I can, I bend the knees and draw them up. And then if that's okay, I place this foot, left foot in front of my right knee, and I press my left hand on that knee and gently coax that shoulder back. Good. Releasing back onto the belly. Other side. So left arm straight out to the left. Palm down. I bend at the elbow, creating a right angle. Okay, very slowly I roll toward that arm, keeping the shoulder, elbow, and wrist on the ground. Okay, this might be where I stop, or take this foot, place it here, and again, carefully and gently pressing the shoulder back to a little bit of a deeper stretch. Good. Let's go ahead and release from there. Come back onto our belly. And then from here, let's press back and bring our legs out in front of us. Okay, let's finish with a nice twist. So sitting nice and tall, bend the right knee, take that right foot over the left leg. Let's bring the left foot back toward the right hip. Inhale, sit tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Let's bring that right arm up and exhale that hand back behind us. Use it like a kickstand to keep spine erect. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale that elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall, exhale, look back over the shoulder, and let's breathe. Breathe into anywhere where you feel tension, tightness, soreness, stiffness in the body. Good. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, taking the legs straight. Let's do the other side. Bending that left knee. Take that left foot over the right leg. Bring that right foot back, sitting tall. Inhale, reach to the crown. Extend the left arm up. Exhale, that hand behind you. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall, and exhale, look back over the left shoulder and twist. Good. Inhale. Let's come on back to center. Exhale, we'll take our legs out in front of us. Just give them a little shake. And then inhale, arms out in front. Exhale as we come back onto our back. Let's bring those legs in. We'll give them a squeeze. And then we can grab the soles of the feet. Do a little happy baby, releasing the back and the hips a bit. Just doing a little bit of whatever feels right in your body at this moment. Okay, and then when you're ready to relax, come on back into Shavasana. All right, we'll take about 5 or 6 minutes to relax, and then we'll finish with just a little bit of chanting. Okay, so I'm going to turn my screen off for a few minutes, but I'm still here, and I'll be back for the chanting, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. You'll hear the gong, okay? So slowly, gradually beginning to deepen your breathing and just beginning to move a little bit. Fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, just waking yourself up. And then as you sense that you're ready, gradually making your way up to seated. Again, I don't know what the environment is like on your end, so chanting may be out of the question, and that's okay. You can just listen or sing in your mind, but we usually finish my class with a little bit of chanting, so that'd be nice to do that. The words are Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 May all beings be happy and free. Namaste. All right, well, thank you all for sharing your practice this evening. As always, if you're available to hang out for the next class or attend the next class, please do. You will have to sign out of here and sign into the other class. If not, I'll hope to see you next week. I think we're going to keep the time the same for now. And if you want more, do some yoga nidras or things of that nature, pranayams, you want to listen to some Dharma talks, then check out my Patreon page. I have a lot of free content that I put up there since the beginning of the pandemic. So if there's any other ways I can support you as a teacher, let me know. We can do private interviews, things of that nature. So I really am trying to help my students out in any way that I can if they're having trouble, not just during the pandemic, really anytime, but now might be a good time to establish that relationship. Thank you, Uta, as always. Thanks for coming, everyone else. And I'll see you in a few moments, 15 minutes or so, or next week. Thanks again. Bye.